Hello, friends. Thanks for watching. We're so excited that you take the time to see this video. So my name's Cody. I got to lead the mission trip to Suriname. For those of you who don't know, Suriname is a country in South America, right north of Brazil. So if you look at Google, go to Brazil, go north, you'll find Suriname. So we got to serve there with the missionaries that we support here at the church. Their names are Garuda and Nadira Shwida. We've actually been supporting them at Grace Church, I believe, since the late 1980s. And so this was one of the first times we got to go down there, see what their ministry is all about, and partner with them. While we were there, we got to do VBS and youth ministry at a church called Abra Brookie Church in Paramaribo, Suriname. And it was a true blessing. The people blessed us. We blessed them. God's kingdom was made evident. And we were so happy that you got to be a part of it and now get to hear some of the stories from the trip. So over the next few minutes, you're going to get to hear each team member share about their favorite ministry moment, what impacted them, and a lesson they learned that they can take home and apply here in the States. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of what we got to do in Suriname, and enjoy the next few minutes of stories and
Well, my favorite ministry moment from the Suriname missions trip, one of my favorite ministry moments was at the VBS. We were singing the songs with the kids, and so they would do it in their own language to begin with, and then we would do it in English. And I recognized some of the songs. We did This Is the Day the Lord Has Made, and we also did Father Abraham. And then I learned a new song from the people down there. It's called Love is the Flag from the Castle of My Heart. So those stood out to me, and it was fun to sing with them.
My favorite ministry moment in Suriname was doing the VBS with the kids and helping my sister with the crafts with the little kids.
Hi, my name is Ashley Schrock, and I wanted to share with you my favorite ministry moment of the trip, and it was the VBS with a whole bunch of kids. There was more kids than we thought there was going to be, but the thing that impacted me with that was that these kids don't get love in their households, and so that was really amazing to see, like, how these kids just wanted love, and I felt like we were showing them who Christ is and that Christ loves them. And so that was a really impactful moment for me to be able to show these kids their value and self-worth.
Hello, I am Kirsten, and I went on the Suriname mission trip. And something I learned, like, going into the vacation Bible school, is that it is not a very affectionate culture. So to have the kids touch us and high five and hug us, they were feeling love from us.
Hello, my name is Leighton Virgil, and I was on the missions team that went to Suriname. My most memorable ministry moment was probably the first day of VBS when we were worshiping with our English music, and although none of the kids knew English, they were still encouraged to jump around and dance with us, and that was pretty inspiring.
Well, my favorite ministry moment was when me and my friend Alexander, we got to reenact the story of Bartimaeus. It's when Jesus heals the blind man. And I really recognized the kids were really involved, and I really enjoyed it, and it was just incredible.
Hi, I'm Jan, and we just returned from the Suriname missions trip. It was a fantastic experience, and to see all these children come day after day to Vacation Bible School and bringing their friends back, and to see there was a little girl in my group that raised her hand to accept Jesus the last day, and that was so awesome.
This is the first mission trip that I actually got to lead and be the leader on. So my favorite ministry moment was watching everybody else get to experience and step out in faith into what God had called them to do on this trip. So I'm just going to do a moment of bragging on each team member, because they did a great job and God used each of them in a mighty and powerful way. So my friend Alexander, so he got to teach a lesson at one of the youth groups. He did a phenomenal job, and then he gave a testimony in church, and it was amazing. My brother Orion, man, I looked at him the Sunday night we had youth group. I was like, bro, this is 2 hours before we're going on. I was like, dude, I want you to rap. For those of you who don't know, Orion does music. He's great, and he pulled it off. He did a song on faith, hope, and love. It was amazing. 2 hours. I was like, bro, this is awesome. And then he got up. He did my favorite Bible lesson of the entire week. He reenacted the story of Jesus healing the blind man Bartimaeus. And it was probably the story that resonated the most with the kids, and he did an awesome job leading it. My friend Ashley, she was in charge of the VBS and oversaw it, and it went off. There were some hitches, but it was amazing. She did a great job leading it. Could not have done that without her leadership. For my brother Matthew, he did a great job. He was reading scripture in church, and he was hands-on in the craft room. He was helping those kids do crafts. They were having a great time. I'm just proud of all that he got to do on the trip. For my friend Jan, first international mission trip, it was great having a mom's presence there because we were all pretty young. And so without her, we might have got lost. She kept us on track, which was wonderful. She got to teach a lesson at VBS, and then she oversaw the little kids group. It was 5 and under, and she loved those kids like they were her own. I mean, I promise you, you're probably seen the video or you're gonna see a video and pictures. Jan loved these kids by the end of the week. They were part of her family, and I think she left a piece of her heart with them. So I'm super proud of her for stepping out in faith. And then Kirsten did a wonderful job. She prayed in front of people, which was like a big thing for her. I'm super proud of her for stepping out in faith. And then she led the older kids group at VBS. There's a bunch of teenagers, so it was a teenager leading teenagers. I was like, proud of you, Kirsten. Keep going. It was great. And then my brother Leighton. In all honesty, I was just happy Leighton was there. He's a wonderful dude. If you haven't ever talked to Leighton, you really should. I think I gave Leighton the worst jobs. I'm just being real with you. And he never had a bad attitude about it. He kept doing it. Everybody who was with Leighton had a great time. And he was always positive through it all. So those are my ministry brag moments, because as a leader, my favorite moment was getting to watch each person step out in faith in what God had called them to do on this trip.
My most impactful experience from the trip, one of them, was talking with Guru Dutt. He is the missionary who lives down there in Suriname. And he's a good role model Christian for younger Christian men especially. And he just spoke to some of the issues that I face as a younger Christian.
The lesson that I can take home is the people in Suriname, they really relied on prayer a lot. And it's just going to make me a lot more serious when it comes to my prayer life. They really relied on it. I really admired it.
And probably something to take home was that in Suriname we didn't have the everyday luxuries that we do here in the U.S., like air conditioning. And it was interesting to see how other people around the world live and how better off we are in the U.S. And I mean, that's something we need to be grateful for what we have.
And a very impactful moment for me was having to pray in front of the church service and go out of my comfort zone and do that.
So for me, the thing that impacted me the most was the VBS and worship time at VBS. So there was a bunch of kids there. They said, hey, get ready for about 35 on the first day. By the end of the week, there'll be about 65. First day it rolls up, there's 65 kids there. We're like, whoa, God is moving. By the end of the week, there's like 120 kids. It was amazing. They're like biggest VBS we've ever had at Aberbrookie Church. It was awesome. And so worship, they got to do worship in Dutch. So there's about 3 to 4 different languages that are spoken in Suriname, maybe even 5. But the common one everybody knows is Dutch. So they did worship in Dutch, and I was sitting there. And what it reminded me of is that heaven's not going to sound how we think it sounds. And I thought in that moment, man, this is a glimpse and a picture of what heaven's going to sound like. It's going to be every nation and every tongue worshiping in their common language. And so in that moment, I don't know about you, but I always think a lot about what heaven's going to look like. But God reminded me that there's also going to be a sound in heaven. And so it made me think about the beauty of the sound of heaven. So that was really exciting and impactful. And it kind of makes me want to unpack that a little more, the sound of heaven.
The most impactful experience was also just driving around and just seeing how these people live. They live in sometimes just shacks, houses that don't really have anything. And it was really amazing to see how happy these people were and how they just get stuff done even in all these situations of just living and not really having good relationships with each other. And so it was really amazing to see and impacted me, especially when coming back to the U.S. It was really impactful.
And for me, just to see how the missionaries live and to kind of be a missionary for 10 days with them. You know, you talk to them and you hear their stories, but to actually be there with them and to live with them for 10 days really gave me a better understanding and perspective of what it's like to be a missionary. And so I have a greater respect for missionaries, and you hear them say, I have, love for these people, and I get that now. I understand that now. And
The moment that impacted me the most was during this trip was I got to see the big majority of the culture there and how the people lived and how they are living now in Suriname.
The lesson I learned is that with God, all things are possible because He gave me the strength and courage to go out of my comfort zone. So thank you.
The most impactful moment was probably that even in the VBS, we had plenty of curveballs and stuff that was unexpected, but the kids still came back in greater numbers than the day before. It was something to admire.
And the lesson that I learned on this trip was patience. And for me, with the language barrier, it was very hard to talk to the kids and to build relationships with them. And so I had to learn how to have patience in those situations too. And it really helped me to think about how the Lord has patience with us and when we just want to get something done. And it would help me just to sit back and just listen and just be there for those people as the interpreter would be talking. And it just really helped me to focus on patience, that nothing has to be said super quickly, but just to focus on what God's doing in that situation.
And some lessons that I can take home is just the things that stood out to me about the missionary families who we got to know, the Shwedots being one of them, just the devotion that they have to God in the missionary field and how they're just living down there, doing life down there, and they're good examples to us here in America, and it also makes me more thankful for what I have here in America.
It was an awesome trip, and I think that I came back thinking that the world is a little bit smaller than what I thought before, which is kind of funny because I used to be a travel agent, but it's not that hard to get to South America, and it was just a fantastic experience. I look forward to doing it again. Our hosts, the people that hosted us, were fantastic. It was just a great experience. And
the most impactful experience for me during the trip in Suriname was talking with Rudolph, and he just made being a Christian so realistic. Like different questions I asked him about what does it mean to be a true Christian? And he really stressed about how important it is to love one another like you want to be loved. That was really impactful.
And the lesson I learned in Suriname was how to meet new people and to learn more about them and all my friends and everyone.
And finally, for the lesson that I learned, I'm about to tell a quick story. So I got super sick the last Friday we were in Suriname. I even lost my voice, and for all of you who know, I really do like to talk, and so losing my voice was a challenge. Not only had I lost my voice, I was sunburned terribly, and mosquitoes were everywhere. Man, I didn't know that mosquitoes liked people so much, but they do. And so I'm sunburnt, I'm sick, and mosquito eaten alive. And I'm laying in bed that night. Oh my God, I need you so much right now. And what God reminded me was that it's not only in our moments of desperation that we need Him, but it's each and every day. And so the lesson I learned was to not only call on God when we're desperate, and technically we are desperate all the time because we're nothing without God, but to call on Him in first, to pray first, and to not wait until the last moment and in our moments of desperation, to be desperate for God all the time. So that was the lesson that I learned. Pray first, pray often, pray always. Prayer still has power.
Anytime a heart turns from darkness to light, anytime temptation comes and someone stands to fight, anytime somebody lives to serve and not be served, I know God is on the move, on the move. Hallelujah, God is on the move in many mighty ways. searching soul. And someone says, send me, here I go. I know, I know, I know, I know. God is on the move, hallelujah. God is on the move in many mighty ways. God is on the move, hallelujah. God is on the move today.
But thank you to everybody who supported me. It was such a blessing, and they really blessed me more than I blessed them. So thank you so much.
So thank you, church, for all your support and prayers, and it was a wonderful time.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported us, supported me and everyone else, and prayed for us. I just want to say thank you about that.
So thank you to everybody who supported me and the team, and thank you to Grace Church for sending us to Suriname.
And thank you so much for supporting us. And we're very thankful for all your prayers.
And I'm thankful to everyone who supported us and prayed for us as we were there. It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
So thank you for all the support and prayers that you gave us.
And finally, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody, friends, family, church, who supported us and prayed for us. We could not have done any of this without you. To Grace Church, thank you for trusting me to lead the team, for sending us, for commissioning us to go. Without you guys, none of this would be possible, and so we're so, so thankful. If you want to know more about our trip, feel free to ask anybody that was on the trip for more stories. If you want to see more pictures, we'll gladly provide them. We love you, church. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we hope that you can continue to partner with us in the future to do ministry here in Sarasota and ministry around the world and in Suriname again. Have a great rest of your week and be blessed.